Howdy, folks. Welcome into Thursday's night coverage of the CNC Home Designs Maximum Velocity Truck Series. Sorry about that. It's been a minute for me. Yes, it's Matt Williamson, not Tommy Cook, with you here tonight. And the reason for that is Tommy's a little under the weather. He has lost his voice. So I am filling in, but I am here with one of the main men on the Thursday night broadcast. That is Josh Motichek. And I was kind of a fill-in last minute, so we're still working on a few things for the broadcast here. However, we are going to get to your starting lineup as they are already starting to take the grid, and they are going to start off here in a second. Maybe. Sorry. They're going to start out just like this. No surprise here, I think, to maybe anybody. Justin Michael has taken the pole here at Kansas, and James Lehman is going to start out on his outside in second. Justin Ritchie is going to start out third. Heath Smith will start outside on the second row. Brandon Gruber will start in the third row on the inside. Dakota Floyd to his outside. Scott Patton will start in seventh. Will Kurt will start in the eighth position. Jordan Nees and Aiden Young will round out your top 10. Matt Rodolasso and Kerry Cleaver, 11th and 12th. Rod Mitten in 13th. Mark Jackson, 14th. Mike Milfeld and Charlie Widener will start on your 8th row. Nathan Carroll and Ty Young will start 17th and 18th on the field. Matt Sisseler will start 19th. Jack Watts will round out your top 20. Zachary Groover, Kyle Manos, Brad Slagle, Matt Schlosser, Greg Parmalee, Jacob Gibson, Billy Bumgarner, Cal Makowitz, Wally Turheimer, Makowski, I'm so sorry. Wally Turheimer will start 29th. Chris Surgeon will start in 30th. Boy, we have a long list of drivers here starting tonight. Trent Drum, Chris Boyles, Gary Offa, Greg Mall, Josh Motichek. He's not here. Anyways, we're going to go green. We'll get them all in there eventually.
Yeah, so y'all know the deal, same as normal. 3 extra sets of tires, no fast repairs, incident limits, 16x drive-through, 21x disqualification, 70% fuel, standard pit window, 100 lap race, 25% is the stage break, and we are green. Just kidding.
I think they helped us out here a little bit.
I do think so.
They were on their toes on that one. Appreciate the heads up from the fellas that run the league here. They are going to give us another lap to go around to kind of get our bearings about us, so appreciate that. Josh, we're going to take a quick look at the points here before we get going. Scott Patton is atop the point standings with Dakota Floyd not too far behind there in second. James Lehman will be in the third spot. Matt Sisseler not too far there behind Lehman in fourth, and Justin Michael will sit in fifth. Heath Smith, Greg Mall, Charlie Widener will round out your top 8 in the points. Rob Haynes and Jack Watts actually tied for ninth, with Billy Bumgarner and Riley Tilton rounding out your top 12. Those will be the 12 that would have made it to the playoffs here if we would have gone to the playoffs at this point, but that is not the case. Mark Jackson, Will Kurt, Brad Slagle, and Chris Surgeon are your top 16. Those last 4 trying to work their way, have a good night to put themselves in a better spot in the points. Going into the next round, just over halfway through the season here at this point, or in the regular season, I should say. And now we are going to take the green here at Kansas.
Yeah, so a good even start from your front row. That front row usually does not qualify. Justin Michael usually electing to take the rear of the field, but going to get off to a good start. A little loose from Justin Ritchie there through 1 and 2. Is going to get under fire from Lehman right off the bat. Heath Smith in the mix.
Big move there from Ritchie to move from all the way to the top of the racetrack, all the way to the bottom there in turn 3.
Yeah, see Ritchie moving back to that top line. Definitely seeking out this track. You can run pretty much anywhere on the track. We're seeing those lines.
Yeah, right around the top 15. We got really stacked up there off of turn 2. They are trying to sort that out.
Name that doesn't get mentioned too often, Brandon Groover now here battling for that 5th position. Jordan Neese following right behind.
Oh!
Oh!
Groover almost gets turned to the inside wall. He's going to save it, but he's going to lose a lot of positions. Man, that was a great qualifying effort for Groover. And unfortunately, not going to have the track position to show for it early on here. Going to try and work his way back through the field.
That's going to open up the door for Neese and Floyd now to jump up a spot. Neese has always shown good pace here at the beginning of the race, just never able to back it up, always gets involved in something early in the race, so keep an eye on him. He needs a good points finish tonight.
Justin Ritchie, James Lehman were battling side by side. Ritchie going to use the momentum off the top side to get past Lehman. Lehman fight back in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Awful tight there.
Yeah, very tight racing coming off the corner. That bottom, it just kind of starts to level out, and it's super difficult to hold it there when you have a truck outside of you. It's fast on entry, but the momentum of the top just beats it out. It's going to bring Scott Patton into the mix now. Patton and Lehman side by side into 3. Justin Michael did have a pretty good lead there at one point, but now that Justin Ritchie is clear, he is starting to close that gap very quickly. Gap now down to about 3 or 4 tenths. As now Patton will clear Lehman into 3.
And obviously didn't get to talk about it too much at the top of the broadcast, but I mean, this is a track in Kansas that at one time was kind of like a Las Vegas where it was very packy. And since the truck refresh about a year ago now, Kansas has become one of those racetracks that is kind of a driver's track. There's a lot of different lines you can run. You have to be wary of the tires and tire wear. A lot of times you end up migrating to the top of the racetrack. It is not what it once was. But are you at all surprised to see it string out this much this early on? I feel like this is pretty early for this much separation.
No, definitely not. This track does string out. It really shows what drivers can save tires. I know that I personally had a very quick short run pace here, but was not able to conserve tires. Neese almost into the wall there coming out of 2. But a couple weeks ago in the Venom Truck Series, John Kay won at this track by over 10 seconds. So definitely will string out if we get green flag runs.
See Lehman and Patton now trying to work together a little bit down the front stretch there. Patton into the wall trying to run the top lane. Lehman will get through on the bottom. Oh, and Patton a little bit into the wall again on exit. So already starting to struggle with this truck a little bit.
Yeah, there's not going to be much of that quarter panel left, that's for sure. It's going to bring Heath Smith into the mix now, side by side with Patton.
We'll look back a little bit further. Dakota Floyd, Will Kirk, Aiden Young, they're just inside the top 10 here. And then you go back to Nathan Carroll, Matt Sisler, Matt Rodolasso. They're pretty tight here, battling for the top 10. Sisler trying to run the bottom. Mostly, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of folks have migrated towards the top. Sisler still trying to run the bottom here.
Yeah, Carroll gonna be up 6 spots here. So far, one of your highest movers. Further back, Jacob Gibson, he is up 11 spots.
James Lehman looking to the inside of Richie here for second. Doesn't quite have it clear, but running the bottom here will get clear in the middle of the corner. And he's going to take it. Richie will have a big run off the top side, but it won't be enough. So Lehman takes second place. Now he's going to look towards teammate Justin Michael. And for this field, I mean, normally the MO of Justin Michael is to kind of take it a little bit easier on the tires early on in the run. For him to be this far out front right now at this point in the race, doesn't bode well for the rest of the field, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, typically does not. It's been about 3 or 4 races since we've seen Justin Michael even put in qualifying laps. He has been electing to start in the rear and come through. So I'm wondering now if maybe he's seeing the races start to pass by pretty quickly and start thinking about points and realize how valuable those stage points are.
Oh, man, Lehman, or excuse me, Smith and Richie awful tight there on entry into one.
Slide up right to Richie's door. The bottom is fast when you can make it stick. Smith just not having quite the run on entry that Lehman had.
Oh,
we've got a
caution is
caution.
out. Oh, it looks like Kyle Manos is through the grass. I think that's Gary Ofit down there as well. Michael R. Van.
Resurgent involved. Kerry Cleaver. Kyle Kabash.
Yeah, you see Harry's going to come down pit road early. Some of these drivers with quite a bit of damage here. See, the 42 is pretty beat up there on the right side. Let's see if we could figure out what takes place here. This is well after the fact. See, it's already started there. We'll back it up. Well, it looks like maybe Cleaver is the one that got loose. This is Cleaver coming off of turn 2. Oh, yeah, he's loose. Right off the exit. He's going to shoot way down the racetrack. He's going to miss the inside wall, but he overcorrects, comes right back up into the field, and he kind of hits the brakes trying to keep from hitting the outside wall right in front of Kyle Manos in the 11. So Manos is going to go sideways into the wall and right down into the 66. And then Cleaver comes back up the racetrack. That was Chris Voiles that took a hard shot there. That was just a big chain reaction after just a bit of an overcorrection there from Cleaver in the 69.
Yeah, we've seen it multiple times here so far this season where you can get it saved from the inside wall, but as soon as that weight shifts back onto the left side, the truck just shoots back up onto the track, and sometimes it's hard to keep it tracking straight.
Yeah, we'll take one more look. We'll go inside the truck here with Cleaver and see the wheel inputs, try and listen to the throttle input as well, and see what he was working with here. Man, that was kind of a weird incident. I mean, a lot of times you'll see kind of a snap to the left and then a snap to the right. That one was a lot more tame, but it was just still hard to keep control of it. I mean, that one just kind of crept up on him out of nowhere.
Yeah, definitely. And then once the weight shifted and the truck started going back up the track, there wasn't much that he could do.
All right, so caution comes out on lap 15. Have a 15-lap run. Nobody that was not involved in that incident or that is in the top 20 came down pit road. We had some folks that were kind of outside the top 10, outside the top 15 there, come down pit road. Some altering strategy here with an early caution. We'll see how this plays out for the rest of the race.
Oh, man. The Patton gets loose on the start.
Man, that stacks things up big time.
Yeah, that's going to change up this top 10 very quickly. Patton going to drop way back.
You see, even through turns 1 and 2, he just has no momentum. He keeps going backwards.
Yeah, very tight racing further back. Floyd up into the wall. That's going to bring Sisler and Carroll into the mix for the top 5.
Widener able to clear some of the carnage and some of the action here. It's gonna, wow, Will Kirk, and I think that was Floyd, nearly came together. Oh, you see one down way to the bottom of the racetrack. That's K-Bash.
Oh, Floyd gonna slide right up in front of Charlie Widener. Widener gonna cross him over down this front stretch. Floyd looking back underneath him. Just behind is Rod Mitten, and Will Kirk gonna get loose, but Kirk will take away the 9th position.
Big move to the bottom here from the 19 of Jacob Gibson. He is not cleared. Oh, there's contact further back. Somebody went spinning. That's the 12 of Jordan Neese.
And Jordan Neese just cannot catch a break this season.
Yeah,
Greg Mall now looking inside the top 10.
And all of a sudden, we have a battle for the lead here. Justin Michael on the top. Teammate James Lehman right behind. Heath Smith, Justin Ritchie, they're battling side by side here as well.
Yeah, things are shaking up very quickly here as we work to 3-2 the stage break. And man, Greg Mall is on fresh tires, and he is just slicing through the field.
Man, Will Kirk further back got really, really loose off of turn 2. He's going to lose a few there. You mentioned Greg Mall on those fresher tires. He just got through on Sisler, and now he's looking to go around Justin Ritchie.
Yeah, Greg Mall is on the hunt.
Oh, and he nearly gets in the back of Heath Smith. He sailed it in there.
Thinking he's on a dirt track. Crosses him up down to the apron. That's going to give him the podium position. He is up 31 positions from his start.
That's unbelievable. He is driving the wheels off of this thing. He is certainly looking to come and probably take tires again, I would assume, after this. He's already past Lehman. He may take the win here on the stage.
He's definitely going to work on it. Side by side now with Justin Michael as they come out of the corner. Michael gets a little loose.
And Mall was out front, I
and
think, when
he
the
does
caution
it.
came out. Wow.
Wow.
Stage
Greg Mall,
win. What a
34th
run.
to first.
Stage win for the 7. He takes tires after the caution. He was down in like 25th place, I think, when we restarted. And he drives his way all the way through the field. And I believe it was 7 or 8 laps, all the way to first, and takes a stage win. That was unbelievable.
It goes to show you exactly why he was the champ last season.
I mean, that is a crazy move to make, and it paid off. He's not going to come down pit road here, so he's going to stay on those tires. So he'll struggle a little bit here in the next run. However, he's already done his job and gotten those mostly important stage points. So Justin Michael will lead the field down to pit road.
Yeah, so your top 10 at the stage is going to be Greg Mall with the win, Justin Michael, James Lehman, Heath Smith, Justin Ritchie will take 5th, Matt Sisler, Dakota Floyd in 7th, Nathan Carroll in 8th, Charlie Widener, and Rod Mitten will round out the top 10 for stage points. Justin Michael will be the first car off of pit road, followed by Heath Smith, then James Lehman.
All right, so we get to take a breath here. We're going to have only a couple of drivers out there on older tires. It'll be Greg Mall and Matt Schlosser who will start on the front row here. They came down on lap 16 for tires. There's a couple others hanging out there, but they're either a lap down or further back in the pack at this point. Everybody else up through about place 29 just came down to take tires. Josh, what's our fuel window looking like here for this race?
That is honestly a very good question. I did not get to speak with Lehman about the fuel window. Based on the lap count, I would take it to be somewhere around the 35 to 40 mark. But again, that is just a general guesstimation.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, we're probably looking at a one-stop race from here on out.
Yeah,
Especially
I definitely think
in there.
for some of your fuel savers like Justin Michael, it's definitely possible.
We have seen, I mean, there's a lot of trucks out on the racetrack right now. We've seen a lot of loose trucks, a lot of near incidents, and then one actual incident so far. Would not be surprised to see some more strategy come into play with a couple of cautions maybe coming out here as we roll along. Stage break is over. Stage winner, and we are still going to go one more lap around. Sorry. Extended caution period here, so this will help the fuel window.
Now, earlier this season with Venom Truck Series, Matt Schlosser was battling for the lead here against John Kay and lost out that battle due to a speeding on pit road penalty. So Schlosser is definitely one to watch here as we restart. He's definitely quick. I know I couldn't catch him for sure. So interesting to see how him and Greg Mall stack up as we restart with everyone else on fresh tires.
While we got a moment, didn't really say hi to anybody in the chat here. John K at JK Gaming is here. Mason Knapp cheering on Heath Smith. Of course, Tommy was in the chat a little bit earlier, feeling under the weather. Hopefully he gets better soon. Of course, hello to Miss Robin Motichek, and thank you for telling us about the levels, by the way. Hopefully they're a little bit better at this point. Marilyn Beck always cheering on Will Kirk, and of course, your lovely wife, Bailey.
Back under green, Slosser gets a slow getaway. Heath Smith going to be on his tail. Maul out front, followed by Justin Michael. James Lehman going to round the inside now to take that podium spot away from Slosser. So Slosser definitely falling through quickly on those 10-lap older tires.
Yeah, it will not take long for both Maul and Schlosser to fall through the field here, I would have to imagine. Although Maul in the 7 hanging out in second right now.
Side by side now, still with Dakota Floyd now clearing Slosser. Charlie Widener will follow up and be side by side down the backstretch. It's going to tuck back in line. Yeah, so if you're Slosser or Maul here, I mean, you pretty much just have to stick it to the top and save tires.
Yeah, and I mean they can't make it a one-stop race, so their strategy, should a caution not come out, is pretty much solidified. It's these other drivers that are maybe having a shot at a one-stopper. I mean, if you're one of those two, Maul and Schlosser, maybe it feels better to know that you're kind of in that hole. You have a plan that you have to stick to, and you're not going to be wishy-washy about your options here.
Yeah, definitely having something solid to work off of is always beneficial. From a driver's perspective, I know at the start of the race, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do. And then we'll get an early caution, and you just have to roll from there. And it kind of solidifies as you go. But being in the position that Maul and Schlosser are in, they're pretty set in stone and held by their fuel window now.
Schlosser slides right up in front of Dakota Floyd. Floyd going to cross it over here, but Schlosser's still battling for positions even on the older tires right now.
Yeah, and as we've seen earlier in the season, Floyd is definitely better at long-run pace. So being about 10 laps off of the green flag, we should see him start to come alive. It looks like he has been struggling a little bit tonight. Qualified only 6th.
Here comes Rod Mitten with a lot of speed here. And part of this could be Floyd just trying to save some tire, not pushing the issue speed-wise right now. As you see Rod Mitten fly up on these two, he may come to regret the decision a little bit later, but he is rocking and rolling right now. Nathan Carroll is going to work his way underneath of all 3 of these drivers. He's got Floyd, even with Mitten now.
Schlosser going to pull out a good defense, take it to the apron. Now looking to the bottom for the first time since the green flag.
Charlie
Maybe
Widener,
testing the waters here.
Yeah, there's a few still running the bottom. Charlie Widener is going to get out in front of Greg Maul finally. But Maul back to 5th, Widener up to 4th here. And, of course, Widener, a fabled story here at Kansas that will never be duplicated. He's looking to have another great run here, currently sitting in the top 5. Lehman's not letting Michael get away, but he's never really had a shot to make a pass.
Now Lehman running the bottom, Michael running the top. Same grooves we saw before the stage break. And Lehman's able to pull on side of Justin Michael, but just not able to get quite the run that he needs.
Just never been able to get quite even with the 87 off the corner. You see him kind of get, a little bit of contact further back. That was Jacob Gibson as Kirk nearly gets into him on entry. And those are the types of incidents we've been talking about. We've had multiple of those that could have gone awry easily, that the drivers have gathered it up, not let it get away from them. But boy, that was a close one right there.
Yeah, really, really proves testament to how good some of these drivers are.
Rod Mitten will now look underneath of the 7. He'll easily clear Maul here on the fresher tires. Lehman finally even with Justin Michael down the front stretch for the lead. Won't be able to clear on exit. Michael will have the momentum. That was the first real shot for the 50, but he'll have to regroup and try it again here in a few laps.
Yeah, and as these two are battling, that gap to third place Heath Smith is slowly coming down. So Smith is definitely catching on your leaders.
See Schlosser, he put up a good fight, but now it's starting to fall a little bit. He's back to 10th. Jacob Gibson's going to get through. Lehman looking to the corner. Michael's going to slide right down in front.
Yeah, these two are definitely no stranger to battling it out on track with each other.
Yeah, and Justin knows that this is kind of Lehman's, this is his deal. He's going to send it deep. He's going to try and make you uncomfortable. But, I mean, like you said, Justin's ran around him enough to just know to stay steady and not try and get flustered by the attacks and the advances of the 50.
Yeah, and I think this is a really good strategy play on Michael's position. He's not wavered from his line, and you know, every time Lehman gets alongside and has to really pull the car down to not drift up into him, that's chewing away just that much more at Lehman's tires. So possible that we see Lehman start to fade before we see Justin Michael.
See a big group of drivers just inside and then outside of the top 10, all vying for positions here. Hopefully we'll get a long green flag run and we'll be able to see who's able to save maybe better than some others. That's always a really fun thing to take note of here at Kansas. Now, Joshua, you called it. Heath Smith still reeling in these two little by little.
Smith has been inside the top 5 at some point in almost every race, if I'm not mistaken. He usually ends up just outside of the top 5. So he's definitely looking for a very good run here tonight, and definitely showing that he has the pace to be there. Dakota Floyd is going to be underneath Mitten. That's going to be for a top 5 position.
Smith visibly inching closer here. He's also running the bottom, the same line as Lehman, so it'll be interesting to see if he can keep up the pace here or not.
Which it looks like Smith is opening his entry and exit up just a little bit more than Lehman is. And that might be the little bit that he needs to keep these tires fresher than Lehman.
Man, good battle here for 8th. Nathan Carroll currently has it. Justin Ritchie is going to dive underneath, and Aiden Young right on the back bumper of the 63.
Another big train of cars a little bit further back, just outside of the top 10. Led by Greg Mall, still on those old tires, but Jack Watts now in 13th. He's one that we've watched late run show up inside this top 10.
And he's already starting to work his way up there. We're just about to the halfway point in the race, so still a lot of time to work for the 77. Richie and Carroll still side by side here off of turn 4. As we'll take lap 50 here. We'll be to the halfway point here in just a moment. Lehman still gets underneath of Justin Michael and then just does not have the momentum that Michael has running the top. He just cannot get that run off the bottom. This is about as good as we've seen. A nose out in front for Lehman. He might be able to clear. No, not this time.
He's been a little bit better through 3 and 4 than he has 1 and 2. He's going to slide up, and he's going to slot right in front of Justin Michael.
He didn't feel like he had enough speed, and Michael was going to run right into the back of him, and he was probably right there.
Yeah, has a nose ahead and will have the spot across the line. Gonna slide up again. Michael into the wall.
And
that's gonna bring Heath Smith.
Yeah, Heath
right
Smith is
into
right
it
here, ready to pounce.
Yeah, and Justin Michael, after that tap to the wall, will fall back to 3rd. Heath Smith just abiding his time and taking the advantage where he can get it.
Oh, some pit stops happening here. Will Kirk is down pit road. Zachary Groover down pit road in the 27 as well. Those are the first 2 to come down. And this is pretty early. This is definitely 2-stop strategy here.
Here comes Charlie Widener.
Wow, interesting. So these folks are coming down pit road while I take that back. Greg Mall has made his way down pit road as well. I don't think Matt Schlosser has, though.
He has not. He is still running.
So Schlosser on 10-lap older tires than these others, and he's still out on the racetrack. Some of these drivers have already made their way down.
Yeah, Schlosser's running just outside of the top 10. And still no sign of pitting in sight.
At this point, Jacob Gibson is the biggest mover of the race. He's up 20 positions. Currently sits in 6th. He's kind of battling for 5th here with Mitten and Ritchie. He's going to slip back to 7th now. But a great run here from the 19. As more pit stops are underway, Kyle Kabash, Matt Rodolasso. Here comes Matt Schlosser. And we hear more call-outs, so these drivers not going to be able to make it on one stop, it would seem. Pretty much everybody looking at 2 here. Some of them just coming in a little bit earlier than others. Rod Mitten in the 92 will make his way in from the top 5. Spoke about Jack Watts just a bit ago. He is down pit road.
Yeah, as this pit cycle has started to heat up, your top 3 have broken up. So Heath Smith will come down this time.
I like that from Smith. He caught the top 2. Didn't feel like he had the rubber or the pace to get by him, so why not come down pit road and try and gap him on strategy and then make them pass you later on?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a very good call on strategy. Seeing Dakota Floyd now up to 3rd, and he is taking a 10th or 2 out of your leaders per lap. Last lap, he was 4/10 faster.
Well, you called it. You said that he had the long run pace, and we've seen it throughout the season. And sure enough, here he is, putting it on display.
It's definitely making it happen. Speaking of, Matt Schlosser has disconnected from the race.
Oh, no.
So, not entirely sure what the reasoning behind that is. Hopefully everything is all right on his side of the sim. But he's definitely manually left.
It didn't seem like he... No, I didn't see a black flag. That doesn't mean that he didn't maybe have one, but it's not like him to just get a black flag and leave either. He probably would have kept going. So, yeah, like you said, hopefully everything's all right.
Floyd now is past Justin Michael. Michael just not having the long run pace here that he really needs.
Yeah, and I'm a bit surprised. I mean, typically he is very good at the long run speed, and for whatever reason just doesn't have it here tonight. I always have a hard time remembering the tracks that Justin Michael always wants to fill with concrete or dig out and turn into a pool. Kansas might be one of them if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's had good pace up top, but he has definitely tapped the wall several times.
Brandon Gruber will come down pit road. 556 makes his way down pit road as well. Aiden Young going to come in from the top 10.
Hear the call out from Dakota Floyd coming in this lap as Charlie Reidner wheels around his outside, already pitted and is a lap down. But looking to be the first car a lap down at the moment.
Yeah, Widener came down on lap 53. He wasn't the earliest in, but he was one of the earlier ones. But, yeah, at the moment of the drivers that have come down pit road already, he leads them at the moment. A lot of folks going to come down pit road here. Floyd, Jackson, Patton, Trent Drum in the 14. That only leaves about 7 left. And here
oh
comes,
no, James Lehman sideways.
The inside wall. That might be race over for James Lehman. He's going to try and get it turned around, but I would imagine there's probably got to be quite a bit of damage.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, he was having an unbelievably good race. And that shows you just how quickly it can end and just how important your pit stops are.
That will let Justin Michael inherit the lead, who is now down pit road as well, followed by Groover and Justin Ritchie.
And I think Groover this is his second time coming in. He may have gotten a black flag at some point. So Matt Sisler is your lone truck on older tires out on the racetrack right now. and he has called it down pit road. So Matt Sisler will complete your pit cycle here.
Yeah, so Sicily going to be the last one to come down. Charlie Widener, about 15 seconds on track behind him, will likely inherit the lead.
So Widener leads it. He came down on lap 53. Heath Smith, who we know was right there with both Lehman and Justin Michael, he came down 4 laps later on lap 57. I mean, this is seemingly a gain for Widener, but we'll have to see how his long-term pace is here as the run rolls along.
Yeah, and Widener going to look to the inside. He's going to roll to the top, but Wally Turheimer is there.
Yikes! Wow, that was hairy.
Almost 3 wide where it shouldn't have been.
All of a sudden, 2/3 gone here in the race at Kansas. Just 1/3 left. Heath Smith out front is your leader, and before the pit cycle, he was 3rd, just behind 1 and 2. So things looking good for the 1 right now. Of course, Lehman has taken heavy damage, so he is out of contention for the win. Justin Michael waited until lap 64. He finds himself in 9th right now. A lot of time to make up. The gap between him and Heath Smith, 13 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Heath Smith has played his cards just right. Smith here will start to check out from Charlie Widener. Shows that gap is 1.5 seconds. And then another 1.5 seconds back to Greg Mall in 3rd. So Mall making that alternative strategy, taking tires and fuel that first caution and skipping the stage brake caution. Looks to be proving pretty true here for him. He's only on 3 lap older tires than Charlie Widener. So definitely pretty spread out here at this point in the race. Your leaders will be driving through lap traffic. That is Jordan Neese and Scott Patton right up the road from your leader.
Wow, look at this. Floyd, who came down pit road just 1 lap before Justin Michael, has caught up to the 87. I mean, Floyd had just gotten around Michael before they started their pit cycle.
Yeah, so Justin Michael is on fresher tires. But again, looking at about 10 laps on tires for Dakota Floyd. This is around when we usually see him start to put the heat in.
Ronald in front of these two. This is pass for position. Ronald also went down to the apron, then shoots up to the top. These are a lot of passes for position coming up here. Will Kirk in the 9. This is for position as well. Bill Paradise is not. He is a lap down at this point.
Yeah, so Will Kirk and Rodolasso down pit road about 10 laps earlier than Lehman and Floyd. So not going to be an issue for them to get around those two. Man, and Kirk is just a little bit loose off of the corner. Seen that be an issue all night long. Heath Smith extending his lead out to 3 seconds over Charlie Widener. Greg Mall still running in third, about 2 seconds back from him.
Kirk will likely continue to fall a little bit through the order as Aiden Young on fresher tires is looking to get around. Nathan Carroll also looking to get around. They've already gotten through on Rodolasso.
Will Kirk always seems to sit around the top 10. Week in and week out. Nathan Carroll had good pace last week.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him come down pit road here in the next few laps. I mean, he came down on lap 54 a lot earlier than some of these other drivers. Take that back, he came down on lap 52. I'd be surprised to see the 9 and probably the 49 both make their way down pit road here in a few laps.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That being said, Greg Mall, obviously on that alternate strategy, showing him come down on lap 51. So theoretically, he should be the first driver we see come down pit road.
Yeah, I mean, and this has been a great call for Mall in the 7 here. I mean, he's got the pace, obviously, to go with it, but was able to get himself a lot of track position with the calls he's made here tonight. And again, we've talked about Jacob Gibson with the Greg Rod. He is in fourth, and he has 7 lap fresher tires than Greg here, so will likely be able to get around.
Gibson going to look to the inside through 1 and 2. Not able to slide up clear, and it looks like Greg Mall will let him in line. So Gibson now up to that podium spot.
Here comes race leader. Heath Smith is going to beat everybody to pit road. Greg Mall will follow suit.
Yeah, Heath Smith was an early pitter last time around. So definitely not surprised to see him come in as well as Greg Mall. Heath Smith was blistering fast in this most recent stint.
And on cue, Rodolasso followed them in, and well, Kirk actually stayed out, which I am surprised. Jacob Gibson will follow suit the next lap around. Man, he had to lock him up getting on to pit road, but I think he got down in time. A lot of these drivers are worried about late race cautions and late race heroics, maybe wanting to save a set of tires here.
Yeah, we've definitely seen it happen in previous races where it goes pretty much caution-free, and then we have a couple of late race cautions. So Heath Smith gonna be out of the pits right beside Floyd and Justin Michael, but a lap down. So long as Smith can keep the tires underneath it, I I think he's got a great shot at making this strategy call turn into something here tonight.
I mean, basically at this point, I mean, he could pretty much go all out here. He's got about a 20-lap run that he'll have to run here, and it's about to be.
Yeah, most definitely. Charlie Widener, 3.5 seconds up the road from Rod Mitten. That gap is closing, though. So Mitten on ever so slightly fresh tires. Maybe making a little bit happen here at the end.
Yeah, he's more than likely, if they stay out on the racetrack, he'll get passed up by Michael and Floyd here before too long.
Provisional leader of the race, Heath Smith, will unlap himself and gain back the lead lap.
The field seems to be kind of split on this strategy. Quite a few of them came down right around lap 80, but there are 13 drivers that have stayed out that were last down on right around laps 60 to 64. Most of them were down pit road the last time. Oh, Mitten up into the wall off of 2 might open the door for Justin Michael. Michael will look underneath.
Dakota Floyd gonna follow. And we have Greg Mall on fresh tires.
Yeah, Mall's going to get boxed in. That is not going to help his case here.
He's gonna go 3 wide. He's gonna back out, think better of it. Oh, just kidding.
He's going to split it.
He
He has to go. The champ is feeling the pressure. Feels like he needs to make his moves. He can't wait. And I do not blame him.
Rod Mitten gonna be down this time.
Bill Paradise down as well. Already a lap down at this point. The gap from Michael to Widener, about 2.8 seconds now.
Widener gonna be in this time. So Charlie Widener coming in from the lead, coming to lap 88.
So that will give the lead to the 87 of Justin Michael. Dakota Floyd runs in second. Aiden Young would round out your podium should it finish on this lap. However, we're pretty certain that a pit stop is needed for these drivers. Only
Yeah,
8
Dakota
drivers
Floyd.
left now.
Dakota Floyd and Aiden Young, both are your furthest at the moment inside the top 5. They are 26 and 27 laps into this run. So not sure if they can make it another 11 or 12 laps to the end. They will be cutting it right at the wire.
So Greg Mall came down pit road the same lap as he. Not all that far behind. However, is almost 7 seconds behind the 1, and I would have to imagine a lot of that is getting caught up in the 2 and 3 wide racing there. So Smith is in a great spot at the moment. Greg Mall, although is inching closer to Smith, he is making up time. Likely will not be enough.
And Smith here sitting about 21 seconds behind your leader. That's going to be a lot to make up in 10 laps if some of these top 10 decide not to pit.
Yeah, I mean, if they can make it on fuel, it is definitely still possible for Smith to make it all the way around to your leader, but it would be difficult.
Aiden Young here right on the bumper of Dakota Floyd for the second position. Justin Michael has checked out to just over a second lead. So this may be Dakota Floyd realizing he's down on fuel and having to save a little bit. So Aiden Young gonna get by. Will Kirk and Charlie Widener, both a lap down, gonna split him down the backstretch. And Kirk is in the wall hard.
Widener says, "Get out of the way, I'm coming through." Widener, who was looking good earlier in the race, has fallen quite a few spots from where he once was.
Yeah, Widener with a late pit on lap 88. He is just now coming to unlap himself. So if he wants any piece of this podium, he's going to have to absolutely rock and roll.
So Heath Smith only making up about a second per lap right now, and he had 20 seconds to catch your leader with 11 to go. So appears that probably not going to happen for Smith to get all the way to Justin Michael. Should the leaders not have to pit?
Yeah, and based off of what we're seeing here from Dakota Floyd, I'm thinking that he's just cutting it super close on fuel and having to back off a little bit. Last time by, he was about a second slower than first and second, respectively.
Yeah, that screen will save because he definitely has pace. I mean, he was running great lap times late in the run, middle of the race, so...
Yeah, Justin Ritchie now has caught Floyd for that podium spot. Ritchie coming down only 2 laps later. That might be the 2 laps of fuel that Floyd needs.
Here comes Aiden Young. Aiden Young happened to come down pit road with 5 to go. Wow.
Yeah, so that might be an indication of where Dakota Floyd is sitting because they pitted on the same lap on the last pit cycle.
Justin Michael only came down pit road 1 lap later, as did Justin Ritchie. Man, these drivers had to be on ultimate fuel save mode this entire run if Young had to come in with 5 to go.
Yeah, we were let in on a little secret of Justin Michaels a couple races ago at Rockingham. In fuel save mode, he does shut the truck off when he is rolling into the corner.
Yeah, that's a strategy we've seen from him a lot over the years, and it is tried and it is true.
So definitely what we're seeing here, without a doubt. Justin Ritchie now 4.5 seconds back from Justin Michael. And Dakota Floyd is...
Sorry, here's the in-car for Michael. He is not putting the clutch in right now. So to me, that tells me that he is definitely good on fuel. Feels comfortable with the number. Meanwhile, he's been trying to push as hard as possible. He'll be able to get 1 more. That'll be Nathan Carroll in the 63, who will drop out of the top 5 to 5th. But it's another 8 seconds up to Matt Sisler, so this is as far as the one is going to get. Speaking of Sisler now going to get around Dakota Floyd, so Sisler is now in a podium position.
Yeah, very good run for Sisler.
White flag is in the air. Justin Michael just 1 more lap to make it on fuel. He'll be able to take it home at Kansas.
Yeah, pretty controlling performance here at the end of the race, showing 5 seconds ahead of Justin Ritchie. Uh, Justin Michael crossing the line will take the win here at Kansas Speedway.
And Justin Ritchie going to come home in second. Sisler will take the podium. And I think Dakota Floyd ran out of fuel. He's out of fuel, through turns 3 and 4. He is getting passed by. So what was going to be a top 5 for Floyd may end maybe in the top 15. Still is yet to cross the line. And now he will. Dakota Floyd finishes in 12th with no power in the truck.
Hopefully Justin Michael saved enough to put in a good burnout.
Well, we typically see him do some donuts before he goes to the wall, but he decided he needed to get to the wall to burn it down early here. I didn't hear the engine blow, so that might be all the fuel the 87 has. Wow, just when we counted Justin Michael out on pace, he gets it done on strategy. I don't know why I ever doubt him.
He is definitely one of the best.
Alrighty, well, let's get to your full finishing rundown here as Justin Michael will take the win here at Kansas with just a little bit of fuel left in the truck. Justin Ritchie on that same strategy. He will bring home a podium in number 2. And Matt Sisler, what a great run here for the 93. Sisler will take a podium up 16 positions from his starting point. He'll finish in 3rd. Heath Smith on the 2-stop strategy, just not quite able to get it done. He will come 4th. Greg Ball on that same strategy. Smith will come in a top 5, 5th. Jacob Gibson, great run. Also need to mention here, Greg Mall, biggest mover of the race, up 29 positions. That is unbelievable. But Jacob Gibson up 20 positions, as well as Billy Bumgarner, who's 7th, up 20 spots as well. Charlie Widener, Nathan Todd Mitten will round out your top 10. Outside the top 10, Matt Radalasso, Dakota Floyd, Michael Milfelt, Will Kirk, Mark Jackson, Scott Patton, Aiden Young, Zachary Groover, Trent Drum, and Bill Paradise round out your top 20. Jack Watts, Kyle Kabash, Harry Offutt, Brandon Groover, Cal Majowski, Jordan Neese, Wally Turheimer, Zach Chapman, Ty Young. James Lehman, unfortunately, takes that big damage on his pit stop. He will finish 30th. Matt Schlosser, a disconnect. He 31st. Kyle Manos, Michael Van, Kerry Cleaver, Chris Burgett, Chris Boyles, Brad Slagle, all will be DNF. Everybody else will be a DNS. Not starts here as well. So those are your full results here for the evening. And we are going to talk to place finish was Matt Sisler. A great run here tonight, number 93. A lot of strategy had to play into for the drivers tonight, but you bring home a P3. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate it. Yeah, strategy definitely kind of played into it there with everything going on. I looked at it before that final restart. I was like, you can just about make it saving, and I saved just enough on that first run to get the lead for a lap, and then it was really hard to balance going after it versus trying to save on that last run because I was still saving a little. I had about a lap left, so I did a little too much saving, but also I would rather be at full power at the end rather than sitting there like have feeling it splutter off of turn 4. So all in all, good night for our 3 birdies Tundra TRD Pro.
Yeah, great night, certainly. And you mentioned it. You would much rather finish under power than not. And we saw a couple of drivers not finish under power there at the end, even though they were on or down on simple. Is there a certain strategy you employ? Do you just post more? Are there any secrets you can give out, or do you?
It's like I was clutching and coasting like the whole first run, and I mean I'm pretty sure Justin Michael was doing the same thing. So he obviously had the better pace than I did to do that and win, but I was able to go that lap longer on the first run. I think I was the only one to extend to that extra lap. So at the end it was just pack it full of fuel, and then I wasn't clutching as much or as deep into the corner to save on that second run. It was more like trying to move forward because I don't know who ahead of me is going to run out. And then, we started seeing one by one guys either having to pit or running low and having to really back off. And, it ended up working out just fine.
Joshua, you got anything from that here?
Yeah, man, congrats on the podium. Definitely a wild night. Saw a lot of people in and out of the podium positions. Looking earlier into the race, stage break on lap 25 is relatively quickly, but especially seeing a caution on lap 15 and having a quick 10-lap stint. I mean, what is the call there, and why would somebody like Greg Mall decide to stay out or come in rather and get tires and start in the rear for that 10-lap stint?
Well, I mean, he came flying through there, Josh. I mean, that's why, like, he was brand new tires against guys on 17, 18 lap when we took the green. So he was going for the stage win, which I can understand, but that caution did put us in a tricky position. I had to really kind of gauge, do I want to come in and can I come up through there fast enough to get the stage points, or am I gonna waste a set of tires and then at the end hope that we don't get a late yellow, which we didn't. But I took the thing of like, no, it's not worth it at this point. I'm at that point I was like solidly inside the top 10. I think might have been about the top 5, and I was like, well, I feel like we can probably, as long as nothing goes really wrong, we're going to come home in the top 10 and get some good stage points. And I want to say we were our 93 truck was 6th at the stage, possibly. I'm not sure, but either way, we got some solid stage points, so it ended up working out in the end. I just wish I hadn't left my tires unclicked when I came down pit road, so that's why I dropped from like 6th or 7th all the way back to the tail end before we went back to green for the second stage.
Well, it was a great run for you here tonight. We'll let you get some thank yous and shout outs here.
Well, of course, my sponsor on our lovely truck, 3 Birdies Golf Company. They make awesome golf-related apparel, and rather topical with the Masters being this last weekend and there being a green jacket. We have a green truck, and I know it's not the same shade, but I'm just going to go with it. They've got great stuff over at 3birdiesgolfcompany.com. My paint designer who's on the left rear quarter panel, Lil Hooper Designs, he does an awesome job. He's only a college student, but he does an awesome job with these paint schemes. Peace, Love, and Paws Rescue, one of my closest friends, favorite shelter here in Southeast Michigan. They're a great organization that does a lot of good for a lot of animals out there. And you can't forget you guys for putting on the awesome broadcasts you do at Turn 200. Everybody who runs this league, James and everybody at Max V for doing that. And I think that's about it.
Sounds good, partner. Well, it was good to get to talk to you again. I know I'm not here on Thursdays much anymore, but great to get to talk to you, and congrats on a great run.
I very much appreciate it. You take care. Have a great rest of your evening.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Alrighty, that was third place finisher. And now we're going to pull up something that I have never had the pleasure of speaking to until this moment, and it's your second place finisher. That is the 55 of Justin Ritchie. Congrats on a great finish.
Howdy, thank you. Yeah, I was at the wrong car number tonight. I'll be like the 0 in the future. But yeah, first race here, second place. We'll definitely take that.
First race, second place. Certainly was on it here tonight. We talked to Matt, who finished third, quite a bit about the strategy that. Did you have the strategy lined up kind of throughout the night where you kind of knew you make it a one-stopper from the stage, or is it something that kind of came to you while you were out there?
Yeah, I kind of made the decision at the stage to make it, I guess, a fuel mileage race. I saw how strong the bottom was towards the end of the stage and realized that, hey, you know, the fall off isn't going to be that bad. You save more fuel running the bottom. So it's a viable strategy. And with the extra delayed green, I was like, you know, we might be able to make it in a one stop. So I gave it a shot. And if there was a late caution, I still had a set of tires to throw on and run with. So.
Well, you certainly made it work. Since it's your first race, try and get a little bit of information here so some folks can get to know you. How'd you find Max V and kind of history on iRacing here?
Yeah, for sure. So my buddy Dakota Floyd, who I think you've spoken to once or twice, invited me. We run a bunch of leagues together, and he's like, "Hey, are you free Thursdays?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is some of the best racing that he has ran with in recent memory, and I'm always looking for a good, clean group of guys to run with." And he sent me the invite. I joined the Discord today, and yeah, that's history. I've been racing since like 2021, I think, or 22. I'm sorry, into 22. So yeah, just been grinding away. Actually started as a endurance racing guy, and then dipped my toe into the street stocks and remembered everything I loved about NASCAR.
I love it. I also fell into the NASCAR oval racing by mistake. I was a dirt. But yes, love it. Love to hear it. Love the story. We'll let Joshua get a question in.
Yeah, congrats on the podium. First off, of course. Yeah, it feels good to catch a podium on your first race in. But we could talk about strategy all day long. But I first thing that caught my attention was the beautiful paint you were running tonight. You make your own paints, or somebody make them for you?
No, I have a paint that a guy made for me, but it's sim stamped, so I didn't want to, run the wrong number. So I just went on Trading Paints and found this. Which one did you guys see? Did you see the McLaren or the Little Caesars?
No,
Okay, because right before I was running Little Caesars, I wasn't sure I changed it in time. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm a McLaren fan, like F1, so we'll rock that for this series. And yeah, fastest F1 car.
That's right.
I
Well,
wish.
we'll definitely be looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table as far as paints go later in the season.
Yeah, we might have to switch it up every once in a while.
Love it. Well, congrats on the P2 again, and we'll let you get some thank yous, shout outs here, folks, before we let you go.
Yeah, so first off, big shout out to you guys broadcast. I will be looking for it and watching it here soon. Shout out to James and all of the admins that put this together. It seems like it's a very well-oiled machine, so that's definitely appreciated on the driver's behalf. And then a big shout out to my team, Dakota, primarily because he dragged me in here. But everybody else, they know who they are. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a fun race. Can't wait for next week.
Well, we can't wait to have you back, and our normal play-by-play commentator Tommy is unfortunately not with us here tonight. He's a little bit under the weather, so I'm sure he will very much be looking forward to getting to speak. Well, but first things first race, first podium, might be a bit of many firsts here for Justin Rich. Congrats.
Thank you. You have a good night.
Alrighty, first race and a second place. That is pretty way to start off your career here, the Max VC Home Design Truck Series. But this is a gentleman that certainly not his first race and certainly not his podium or win, and that is the 87 of Justin Michael. You've done it again, sir. Congrats.
Appreciate it. We had a little gas mileage on our side, though.
Yeah, I hate to say that at one point I wasn't sure how the fuel was going to play out, and I just thought you were kind of a little bit down on pace and you didn't have it in you tonight. And, of course, why would I ever doubt the 87 of Justin Michael? Just when I did, the strategy play comes in and you take it anyways. Were you eyeballing that one from the get-go here?
Surprisingly, no. So after the stage, I was just saving tires really, and I mean James had to feel covered. I think in the long runs, I couldn't keep up with him. But after I noticed, I don't know, got about 15 laps in. It's like, you know what? If I push this another like 2 laps, I could probably make it on one stop. And so I just started saving. He got by me, so I started saving even more, and it just kind of worked out. I was not expecting it at all, and I think James could have made it too. So, but I know he had some issues getting on pit road. It looked like.
Unfortunately, hit the side wall pit entry, so we didn't get to see that battle. We were looking forward to that one throughout the night. But the strategy call goes your way. You're get it done. Joshua, you got anything for?
Congrats as always on the win. Three wins on the season. Only other driver to have multiple wins is Dakota Floyd, and he was following you there for a pretty good bit. But he was one of the first drivers we saw to start slowing on fuel. But you made it happen. We heard from you at Rockingham a little bit into your secret of fuel saving. Same strategy here, or is it more of just a lift and coast kind of deal?
It started out lift and coast, and then it changed to clutching, and then this is the bigger the track, the sweepier, the more sweeping the turns are, the easier it is to save gas. So like here in Texas and Rockingham is actually pretty difficult to save because it's so short. So, but no, it definitely works out here, especially when I know it's a high side track, but I guess it really kind of turned to a low side with the new configuration they have out that came out about a month ago. So I was not prepared for that at all. I figured it was going to be high side. That's why I just stayed up top, and it definitely is not the call anymore, especially with the hot weather.
Yeah, we were surprised to see the bottom side being utilized quite a bit, even at the end of runs as well. Usually migrates to the top, but yeah, you were able to get it done here tonight. Well, as always, let's shout-outs here for you from the top spot.
Yeah, just you guys as always, and hopefully Tommy feels better. I know he's sick, and James for putting on the leg, and Scott from Patent Paints for painting his truck, and also Scott for doing the challenge coins and stuff. So I think we're getting our third one, I think, for the season. So if it doesn't get lost in the mail like the first one did, I think it took like a month to get to me, and we're only 500 miles apart, so that's weird. But so I told him he forgot to send it, but no, I ended up getting it. So but we're definitely glad he does that. It's something cool to do, and yeah, we'll hopefully see everybody next week.
Sounds good, partner. Congrats again, and I always like to use the wise words of Tommy Cook when he's not here. Go party hard, my friend.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Alrighty, that's going to wrap it up here for us from Kansas for the Home Design Maximum Velocity Truck Series. It was, I don't know if this is exactly what I expected here tonight. I knew it would get strung out, but didn't expect it to be a total strategy play and fuel mileage. And I know Tommy's probably watching at home, and he thoroughly enjoys himself a fuel mileage rate. I'm sure he's a little disappointed he wasn't able to be on the call for this one, but it was a great show nonetheless. So thank you to him. I don't even know how you guys do the end of these broadcasts any longer. Does he let you read the chat, or does he read the chatters that we have?
Oh no, he does all that.
All righty, well
I'm just here.
Let's go ahead and thank the folks that were out here with us tonight. Greg Mall hopped in the chat here after the race was over. And he says 28th to 1st on the final restart before the stage. I'll take it. I think he certainly would. Not only did he win the stage in that blistering pace, but he also got a 5th place finish. So stage win points, 5th place points. That's a pretty good night here, all things considered. Shout out to Martin Madsen for being the 800th sub. I don't know. Maybe Tommy Cook can think of something to commemorate the 800th sub for you. Maybe stickers that you can get. Maybe we'll make a special one. I don't know. Shout out to Michelle Kirk for cheering on Will as always. Will had a pretty decent night. I think he put up outside the top 10, but was running right around the top 10 tonight. Shout out to John K for being in the chat. Mason Knapp cheering. He couldn't quite get to the podium there. And shout out to Tommy Cook. Hope you feel better, partner. Talked to him on the phone just briefly earlier tonight, and he sounds just not good at all. So I really hope that turns around for you. Got a big real life broadcast. Shout out to Robin Motichek here for the boys in the booth and the drivers out on the racetrack. Marilyn Beck cheering on Will Kirk, and of course Bailey, your wife, always here, listening, watching. Whenever you're around, she is supporting you. Shout out to her for being in the chat as well. Let's turn it over to you, Joshua. What did you think of our race here?
Always a beautiful race here with Max V. Really enjoy catching a fresh perspective of racing, being up here in the booth and getting to yap about it for an hour and a half instead of sit there and focus and drive. A great race. Justin Michael, as always, has unmatched pace. Always able to put together the finishes that he needs. And with missing a race at Martinsville earlier this season, still sitting up there in the top 5 in points is just something else. But really enjoy it. Enjoy being up here. First time calling with you, Matt, so really enjoyed it. It was a blast.
Yeah, it didn't take us very long to get in a little bit of a flow of things, so that's always great to have on a first time broadcasting somebody. So yeah, it was certainly a pleasure. Sure, it probably won't be the last. I think we might have another one together coming up. Tommy will have to believe another race he's calling in real life. So we'll get a few more here throughout the season as we go. But I agree, it was a great race. Always enjoy a strategy race. It brings a lot to the imagination, and you have to think about it a little bit, even as a broadcaster as well. Shout out to all the drivers that showed up here. A big crowd here for the Max V Home Designs trucks here. I believe there were 37 that took the track here. That's a big number. Shout out to all the drivers. Shout out to the admins here at Max V as well. And a big shout out to Carrie Cleaver at CNC Home Designs, being the title sponsor of the series. I know there's a long spiel that Tommy has written down somewhere. Unfortunately, I don't have it. But he can take care of your home building needs there. I believe it's in Central Florida. So if you need anything home building wise there in Central Florida, give CNC Home Designs a call. Shout out to them for being a great sponsor of the series. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you to Joshua for always being here in the booth here, the regular on Thursdays. And shout out to Justin Michael for taking another big win here at Kansas. Good night, everybody.
This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.